Welcome back to Thirukkural a Day, Chapter 4, Kural 7. Palanquin and Bearer. அறத்தாறு இதுவென வேண்டா சிவிகை பொறுத்தானோடு ஊர்ந்தான் இடை. The fruit of virtue need not be described in books. It may be inferred from seeing the bearer of the palanquin and the rider therein. Questions for you. In your community, how are those who serve others recognized and valued? How can you foster a greater sense of equality and mutual respect between leaders and those who support them? The jungle stretched endlessly, its tangled roots grasping at their ankles like desperate hands. The sickly scent of decay clung to the crew, their bodies weakened by fever and exhaustion. Caspian pushed forward, each step a battle against the weight in his limbs. Mali trudged beside him, his breath ragged, sweat pooling at his temples. Then, through the thick haze of heat and sickness, a figure emerged. Rajamani. He stood at the crest of a moss-covered rise, framed by the golden light of dusk. For a moment, neither he nor Caspian moved. The past roared between them. Old battles, old alliances, the last time they had parted. Caspian barely had the strength to speak, but his voice cut through the humid air. "Raja!" he rasped. Rajamani took a slow step forward, his sharp eyes flickering from Caspian's fevered face to Mali's unsteady stance. His jaw tightened. "You look like men with death at your heels." Mali let out a weak chuckle. "Feels about right." அறத்தாறு இதுவென வேண்டா சிவிகை பொறுத்தானோடு ஊர்ந்தான் இடை. The fruit of virtue need not be described in books. It may be inferred from seeing the bearer of a palanquin and the rider therein. Caspian staggered forward, grasping Rajamani's arm. "It's been too long, mate, but there's no time for stories." His grip was weak, but his desperation was stronger. "The crew's sick, a disease, something old, something we don't know how to fight." His breath shuddered. "They're dying. We're all dying." Rajamani studied him silent. Caspian had once stood before him as a leader, strong and untouchable. Now he was no different from his men, ravaged, vulnerable, his life hanging by a thread. The weight of that truth settled in Rajamani's chest. Mali exhaled sharply. "We know that the cure is in the island, Raja. We know the truth." Rajamani's expression darkened. "How do you know that?" No, I can't allow that. I gave my word. No outsider can enter." Caspian's fingers clenched weakly at Rajamani's wrist. "Then we are dead men walking." The jungle pulsed with the sound of unseen creatures, the world holding its breath. The weight of Rajamani's oath pressed against him, but so did the sight before him. Caspian, once proud and unshaken, now at the mercy of something greater than himself. The bearer and the rider, equal at last. Rajamani closed his eyes for a long moment. Then with a slow breath, he turned toward the hidden chamber. Will Rajamani betray his oath to save them, or will the weight of virtue demand sacrifice?